Holy shit. On the day I returned to the country, the plane exploded. I had just put on a parachute when a gentle, frail porcelain doll-like woman suddenly rushed over. She yanked my parachute pack right off. "What are you doing?" I demanded furiously, wanting to reason with her. Instead, she pressed herself tightly against me, her soft lips pressed onto my mouth. Damn it. I've been with my girlfriend for 7 years, and I haven't even tasted the lipstick on the corner of her lips. This woman acts like she wants to swallow me whole. Holy crap, where are you touching me? Just because you're good looking, you think you can do whatever you want. Just as I was furious and wanted to push the woman away, several large, imposing men walked over. Their eyes scanned the area a few times. He doesn't have a parachute on this side. He definitely wouldn't dare to jump down rashly. Besides, he is severely injured. He must be blending into the crowd. Let's keep looking. I saw them searching for a while, before leaving aggressively. I felt a bit panicked. At this moment, another group of people arrived. I saw them keeping one hand inside their jackets. With this posture, could they have guns? Guns! Suddenly, a pair of fierce eyes locked onto me. The other party glanced at me. They're just a couple facing a life and death separation. They pose no threat. The woman's back was blocked by the parachute, which perfectly concealed her identity. He must have hidden somewhere else. If we fail this time, the higher-ups will definitely not let it slide. It looks like we have to work harder. Don't let the Black Dragon Society group find him first. Hearing their conversation, I couldn't help but think that the passengers on this plane are too strange. Who on earth are they all looking for? And this woman is actually still taking advantage of me. Thinking about how this girl was still taking liberties with me, I raised my hand wanting to push her away, but the woman reached out and grabbed my wrist, guiding my hand onto her waist. Hey, who are you? Get away from me. We're crashing, did you hear me? The boss of the group suddenly stopped in his tracks, turning back to look at me. Boss, we don't have much time. We need to leave this place quickly. What are you looking at? Following the boss's gaze, he looked over at me. Only then did I realize their eyes weren't on me, but on this mysterious woman in front of me. Let's go. We've caught their attention. At this moment, the man called the boss had already pulled a pistol from his pocket and quickly pulled the trigger. The woman threw the blanket at them with a backhand, then grabbed me and leaped down. Her speed was so fast it made one's head spin. The parachute bloomed in the sky, and the two of us were suddenly floating in midair, putting a decent amount of distance between us and the plane. It's her. She escaped. Quick shoot. Bang, bang, bang. The gunshots echoed through the air. Seeing our parachute drift further and further away, the man called the boss roared in frustration. Hurry up and pursue. Several men quickly put on their parachutes and leaped out together. I never expected in my wildest dreams that I would be inexplicably dragged into this mess. Just what is the identity of this woman in front of me? To be hunted down by different factions. What on earth is her background? Just as I wanted to question this woman, I noticed her eyelids were closing tightly and the hands hugging my waist lost their strength and let go. Her entire body lost consciousness. Hey, don't fall asleep on me. I was scared to death and held her even tighter. Did you get knocked out by fear? Hey. Oh no, the attack just now damaged the parachute. The woman has already fallen into a coma. I prayed silently in my heart, oh heavens. Oh earth, please don't tell me we're going to crash right here. Below us was nothing but the vast, boundless ocean. In my heart, I hoped this parachute could hold out just a bit longer. I don't want to lose my life. I don't want to bite the dust here so soon, ending my life in such an absurd way. This isn't what I wanted, but the parachute is plummeting down at an extreme speed. Living for over 20 years, I never realized I could be this unlucky. Everything bad is happening to me today. Before I could think too much, with a splash, the two of us crashed heavily into the sea, kicking up a huge spray of water. Caught off guard, I swallowed a few mouthfuls of water, and as my whole body surfaced, I gasped for air painfully. Fortunately, I know how to swim. Otherwise, I really would have bitten the dust here today, flailing around on the sea surface for a bit. I finally managed to calm myself down. A large area of blood had already spread across the sea, as if someone had spilled red dye, rippling out wave after wave in the water, which was absolutely shocking to look at. What's going on? Where did all this blood come from? I scanned around with my eyes, but that woman was nowhere to be seen. Oh no, that group of people earlier said she was injured. Could all of this be bleeding out from her? This woman is definitely not simple. There's no telling when that group will catch up. If I get involved in this matter, I'll definitely invite massive trouble. But if I don't save her, she will definitely drown alive. Two thoughts clashed violently in my mind. In the end, I closed my eyes in agony and dove into the sea. I quickly locked onto her direction in the seawater. Found her, I swam toward her, using every ounce of my strength to drag this woman ashore. I have no idea what place this is. Judging by the fishing nets hanging from every household, it should be a fishing village. My eyes quickly locked onto one of the houses. It's closest to me and the fastest to reach. I decided to go to this house to ask for help. I'll be right back to save you. I placed the woman on the ground, not caring whether she could hear me or not, and ran alone to the front of the house to knock on the door. Excuse me, is anyone there? I need some help. Hello, is anyone there? Please open the door. Before long, the door opened with a creak, revealing a kind face. An elderly woman looked slightly surprised. Who are you? Hello? There was an accident on the plane I was on. Right now, someone fell into the sea and is severely injured. Can I get your help, please? The woman looked slightly surprised, glanced at the lying figure on the shore, and shouted inside the house, "Old man, come out quickly and help save someone." The fisherman walked out in a few strides and without a word brought the woman back into the house. "Young man, your woman is severely injured. This looks like a gunshot wound." "Yes, we encountered robbers on the plane just now. Not only did they take our things, but they also fired several shots at us." The fisherman slapped his thigh in resentment. "What a world you wait here. I have some excellent medicine passed down from my ancestors. No matter how big the wound is, as long as you apply it, she will definitely be fine by tomorrow." That miraculous. This is the first time I've ever heard of such a medicine. The elderly woman smiled and said they had been fishing for generations. Last time he was bitten by a big fish and a piece of flesh from his arm fell off. After applying it, he is perfectly fine now. Is that so? I felt a bit chilled hearing this. The woman brought over a basin of water. "Wash your woman's wound first. The medicine needs to be applied soon." I cast my eyes onto the woman. Her hands were hugging my waist, and her head nuzzled against my chest as if she were holding onto a dependable support. Sleeping so soundly. What kind of time is this? And this woman still doesn't forget to take advantage of me. Didn't she pass out? How can she still do things to take advantage? My impression of her got even worse. Your woman seems to really cherish you. Even though she's injured, she still won't let go of you. Being young is truly nice. In our generation, just holding hands would make us blush. Sorry to make you laugh. I maintained a polite smile. In reality, toward this brazen woman, I was resentful to the extreme. You're injured like this and still can't stay still. The elderly woman was about to tease this young man, but when her eyes fell upon the woman's face to take a look, she froze up, seeing the woman slightly surprised. I thought, could this woman be some important figure? Even someone in a small fishing village knows her? "Grandma, do you know her?" The woman pondered for a moment and said to herself, "She looks a bit familiar. It's like I've seen her somewhere, no wonder." No. Could she be a top wanted criminal often shown on TV? Or maybe someone temporarily detained in some correctional facility? Judging by the way she was being hunted down just now, she has offended at least two factions. Grandma, please think carefully. Where have you seen her before? This concerns my life and safety. If she's a high-risk individual, I will definitely contact the authorities at the first opportunity. I will absolutely not harbor any criminals. The woman shook her head. I can't remember. Looking at your clothes, you must be from the city, right? Being born so good-looking, you must be a celebrity couple. Ah, please don't flatter us. How could there be such miserable celebrities like us? Young man, apply this medicinal powder to her. When dinner is ready in a bit, I'll have the old woman come call you. Thank you. I'm really troubling you guys. No trouble at all, no trouble. Seeing them close the door and head out, only then did I look at the woman and flicked her forehead once. The woman let out a soft groan, seemingly hit on a sore spot, her beautiful eyebrows knitting slightly. Seeing black blood oozing from her body, there was a continuous stream of blood welling up from her chest. Despite being reluctant, I still took off her top for her. Not for anything else, just because I don't want her to die here and make a huge scene. After wiping her upper body, the basin of water had already become muddy. I poured the water out and went outside to get another basin of hot water. Just as I was planning to wipe her lower body, my hand hesitated the moment it touched her pants. Forget it. I'll just wipe her down quickly and be done with it. There's nothing to be afraid of. But these pants are so tight, how am I supposed to take them off? As I was vexedly studying them for a while, a cold voice suddenly rang out. "What are you doing?" I was startled. The woman grabbed my collar all of a sudden and pulled me right in front of her. Caught off guard, I pressed right onto her wound. Sorry. Did I hurt you by bumping into you?" "I didn't mean to." I hurriedly stood up. "Don't misunderstand. I just wanted to wipe down your body, to make it easier to apply the medicine." Looking at her expression, she seemed to have misunderstood something. I continued to explain. "I just couldn't unfasten your buttons at all." In the woman's bright eyes, an unpredictable smile suddenly welled up. "What were you trying to unfasten them to see?" I felt a chill down my spine from this smile of hers. "You don't actually think I'm interested in you, do you? I'm someone who already has a girl. Friend, I will absolutely never have any improper thoughts about you. Even someone who doesn't know how to take off pants has a girlfriend. What is wrong with this world?" I grew somewhat frustrated and embarrassed. "Do you think just because two people are together, they have to take off each other's clothes? My girlfriend and I are perfectly innocent. We've never done anything." "I can tell. Back on the plane, your kissing was completely erratic. It was terrible one look, and it's obvious you've never kissed anyone before. It would have been fine if she hadn't brought this up, but hearing her mention it made me even angrier. The first kiss I saved for so many years was meant for my wedding night, so my girlfriend and I could give our most complete selves to each other. I never expected it would be taken away by this woman for nothing. I don't need your review." I remember tossing the medicine to her. She smiled faintly. "Not going to help me. Didn't you want to look at me just now? Why did you turn away? This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. You should know, not every man has the honor of looking at me. That my girlfriend is much better than you. I'd rather look at her than look at you." The woman, was hearing for the first time that someone was better than her. Seeing how I was stomping my feet in anger, the corner of her mouth couldn't help but curl up into a shallow arc. She gently and slowly moved a few inches closer to me, raising her hand to lightly tug at my sleeve, wanting to tease me. But before the words could come out, I saw that she hadn't sat stably and was about to fall off the bed. Careful. I hurriedly tried to support her. The next second, those soft lips pressed against my lips without any warning. My entire body completely froze. Stunned for a few seconds, I angrily pushed the woman away. "What is wrong with you, woman? Why are you acting just like a female rogue?" The woman, like a cat that had just stolen cream, said triumphantly, "You came over on your own initiative. If you hadn't been falling off the bed, would I have come over? I really have never seen such a bold woman." A smile rippled in the woman's eyes, as if the angrier I got, the more amused she felt. "If you feel like you're losing out, you can kiss me back." I pursed my lips. "Give me your phone." "Why?" I looked at this woman, secretly guessing her identity in my heart. I just felt like she wasn't a good person. She looked like a fugitive. At this moment, a knock on the door rang out. "Young man, it's time to eat." "Oh, your woman is awake." I protested in my heart. She is absolutely not my woman. But out loud, I said politely, "We'll be right there. We've caused you trouble. I'm really sorry." The woman deliberately reminded me, "You haven't applied the medicine for me yet," as if saying it out loud for a third person to hear. I turned back and glared at him, as if saying, "You're not disabled? Can't you put it on yourself? Young man, it's been so long and you still haven't applied the medicine to your woman. Hurry up, it won't be good if the wound worsens. Remember to use hydrogen peroxide to disinfect her wound, and then pour the medicinal powder on it. I won't disturb you guys for now. Come out to eat after you're done with the medicine." After saying that, she closed the door. I gave the woman a fierce glare. The woman smiled and nodded, seeming satisfied with this result. My teeth itched with hatred. Pouring half a bottle of hydrogen peroxide onto the wound brought a slight burning sensation, but the woman only let out a soft groan. This woman actually has quite a lot of perseverance. After disinfecting the wound for her, I poured on the medicinal powder and gently wrapped the white bandage around a few times. After completing all this, the two of them finally walked out of the room one after another. In the dining room, the fisherman and his wife were sitting at the dining table, waiting with starving bellies. As soon as we came out, they greeted her warmly. "The little girl, are you all right? Come over and sit down. We can eat now," the fisherman said with a smile. "There's nothing good to entertain you with, just some simple coarse food. I hope you won't mind." "Thank you. We have already brought too much trouble to you guys." I knew she was always impolite, so I simply spoke the words of gratitude on her behalf. After I took my seat, the woman stood still without moving, her gaze scanning the surrounding small tile-roofed house. What kind of place is this? The moment she opened her mouth, there was an aura of dominating everyone. The wife didn't dare to be negligent, introducing warmly, "This is Fisherman's Village, located on the border of Nanchang." Nanchang, I've heard of this place. "It's about a 10-hour drive from Dongchang. Give me a phone." "A phone? There are no mobile phones here. There is a telephone in the town. Tomorrow, I will have my old man take you over there. It takes only 2 hours to arrive. There are no other communication devices nearby. People here have fished for generations and rarely contact the outside world." I felt she was being very impolite. "Tug, tug." I gestured for her to sit down. The woman didn't resist either, sitting down right next to me. On the dining table, there was a fish, a basin of fish soup, and several bowls of rice, all served in coarse utensils. Even the bowls and chopsticks looked chipped and worn around the edges, but they were very clean, likely used for over a decade. The woman suddenly lost her appetite. "Little girl, why aren't you eating? Come on, eat it while it's hot." The elderly woman greeted her, picking up a piece of fish meat to give to her. But the woman spoke up to stop her. "Don't." The elderly woman's hand froze midair, never expecting her hospitality would be rejected. I hurriedly smoothed things over. "She means she can just use her own chopsticks. Please eat first, I will pick it up for her." After saying that, I took the fish meat from the elderly woman's chopsticks and considerately placed it into her own bowl. Then I picked up a fishtail piece for the woman. "That's what you get for being so picky. This part has so many bones. Take your time picking through them." I suddenly felt a burst of vengeful satisfaction. How could the woman not see through my thoughts? This man is truly biased, deliberately giving her the fishtail with the most bones, while giving the parts with the most meat to the two elderly folks. Seeing this, the woman not only didn't get angry, but also curled her lips into a smile. "At home, don't you always pick out the fish bones for me? I only eat the fish you've deboned." I gnashed my teeth in anger, but because the two elderly folks were present, I could only force my fury down. With a forced smile, I said, "You're already such a grown person. Don't throw a tantrum. Eat quickly. Aren't you going to feed me?" The moment those words came out, the two elderly folks who were just about to pick up their chopsticks were stunned. Or should we ask the unrelated people to excuse themselves? Unrelated people. I almost spat out a mouthful of blood. "Please, this house belongs to them. You're the unrelated person here, okay?" This innate sense of superiority and condescending attitude, where on earth does it come from? The woman pressed down on my bowl, looking at me with great interest. Do you want me to feed you? Do you want soup or rice? I gnashed my teeth, completely speechless. Just eat however you usually do. No need to worry about us. The elderly woman finally tried to smooth things over awkwardly. Just as I wanted to explain that it wasn't like that, the woman already beat me to it. We usually feed each other mouth to mouth. The fisherman couldn't help but spit out a mouthful of rice. Old man, what's wrong with you? The elderly woman hurriedly patted his back. We were eating just fine. What happened? Taking advantage of the fact that their attention wasn't on us, I said under my breath in exasperation, that's enough. The woman kept her playful demeanor the entire time, as if saying, either you feed me or I feed you. I finally lost all patience. Picking up the woman's bowl, I stuffed the fish bones and all into her mouth and said through gritted teeth, you usually love eating fish bones at home. Don't be shy here. They won't think you're a freak. Come on, eat more. I practically stuffed all my resentment into her mouth. The eyes of the two elderly folks almost popped out of their sockets. People actually like eating fish bones nowadays. Grandma, don't worry. Her digestive system is excellent. Even if she eats this bowl, she can digest it. I fed her another bite out of revenge. The woman didn't get upset either, just looking at me with that smile. To outsiders, we looked like lovers who had been deeply in love for years, with an incredibly close bond. Just when I thought I had won a round, the woman suddenly leaned in softly and passed the fish meat from her mouth into mine. My eyes went wide and it took me a few seconds to react. This woman actually fed the food she was eating. Straight into my mouth, I suddenly felt like gagging. But the woman forced her lips against mine, compelling me to swallow the food. The two people next to us watched completely dumbfounded. This method of feeding is so intimate, it was a total eye-opener for them. Has it been too long since they had contact with the outside world? Are young people nowadays really this open? I was kissed by her until I couldn't breathe and instinctively swallowed the food. My very first reaction was to prepare myself for a fishbone getting stuck in my throat. Unexpectedly, after swallowing it down, there was no fishbone scratching my throat at all. I looked at the woman in utter astonishment. The woman picked up a coarse tissue from the side and wiped away the fish bones from her mouth. Her movements were incredibly elegant. I couldn't believe how she had managed to do it. The woman finally granted me amnesty and spoke, "Are you going to eat by yourself or should I feed you?" I hurriedly picked up my chopsticks. "I'll do it myself." I stopped looking at her and began to scarf down the food. The woman stopped making things difficult for me and completely ignoring everyone else put a large piece of fish belly in my bowl. She even picked out the bones and said, "Eat slower." She sounded just like a nagging parent. I wished I could eat even faster, eating as fast as humanly possible, just to get away from this little witch. The meal was finally finished under extreme torment. The elderly woman opened a chest and took out some coarse cloth garments she had treasured for many years. "Young man, you two haven't washed up yet? These are the clothes my old man and I wore back when we got married. If you don't mind, take them and wear them. The bathwater is already prepared. It's right inside that room." I hesitated, not daring to accept them. How can I accept this? These are the clothes from your marriage with the uncle. I can't wear them anymore anyway. Keeping them is just for the memories. We don't have any better clothes here either, so I hope you won't mind. The woman enthusiastically stuffed the clothes into my hands. Unable to decline, I could only accept them. Unexpectedly, the woman suddenly spoke up coldly. Suddenly she said, "These clothes don't suit you." I couldn't help but snap back, "What's it to you? Why don't you bring a nice set to change into?" Then, I didn't expect her to agree so readily. Demanding an exorbitant amount, I said, "Including tonight's meal, medical expenses and taxes. You must pay it all back tenfold." "Tenfold," the woman just said calmly. "Fine. A normal person would absolutely never pay 10 times the price for tonight's various expenses because it's truly not worth it." But what I didn't expect was whether this person was crazy. Most people would have ignored me upon hearing tenfold. So how could she agree so easily? "Now you can give me the phone." The woman looked into my eyes, as if she had long seen through everything about me. I covered my pocket, looking at her in disbelief. "How did you know I had one on me?" Before jumping off the plane, I had put my waterproof phone into my pocket and zipped it up to prevent it from falling out. Nothing can escape my eyes. Hearing her say this, I reluctantly took the phone out of my pocket. The woman dialed a number that couldn't be more familiar to her. "Trace the exact location of this phone. Come pick me up tomorrow." Seeing the way she spoke, she carried quite the aura of a leader. I couldn't help but feel curious about her identity. The woman ended the call in just a few words. She created a new number in my contact list and saved her own name. "This is my contact info. You saved my life. Whenever you need my help, just come find me." I snatched the phone back, half believing, half doubting. She herself is being hunted down? Won't I just get into trouble if I look for her? "Don't worry. I won't be looking for you." I didn't plan on wasting any more words on her and was just about to go take a bath. "Based on this favor, you can make any condition, no matter what it is. I will agree to it." I stopped in my tracks, turned back to look at her, and asked, "Are you sure a ruler's word is final?" Seeing her act so full of herself, I couldn't help but mock her. "If I want a villa and a luxury car, will you agree to all of it?" She replied, "As you wish." The luxury car and villa are yours. And I Fu Huan will be thrown in as a bonus. How about that? As expected, she was just talking big. Arguing with her was a complete waste of time. I said rudely, move aside. Don't block me from taking a bath. While cleaning up the dishes, the elderly woman suddenly remembered something. Isn't that girl the one? Reported on TV a few days ago. The billionaire group CEO Fu Huan. Yes, it must be her. I remember now. The fisherman was mending his fishing net and scoffed. You've watched too much TV? How could a CEO come to a place like ours? The elderly woman argued back she can afford to fly, so she shouldn't be an ordinary person. Aren't the CEOs on TV always taking planes? And flying all over the world? The old man chuckled. My silly wife. There are too many people who can afford to fly nowadays. It's just that we haven't gone out to see the outside world in too long. The couple's voices drifted outside the window. While taking a bath, I recalled her name was Fu Huan and muttered a few words. Fu Huan? Why does that sound a bit familiar? I reached out to grab the shampoo, but my fingertips suddenly touched a wriggling object. My heart tightened instantly. I instinctively looked up, letting out a sharp, terrified shriek, my voice tightening with sheer panic. Hearing the commotion, Fu Huan immediately rushed over. Before the two elders could even react, she had already pushed open the bathroom door and walked in. The bath bucket was tilted to one side, and I was standing in the corner, disheveled and looking quite miserable. Fu Huan stepped forward and gently draped the clothes over my shoulders. Her tone was calm, yet laced with concern. What's wrong? She asked. Fu Huan scanned the bathroom with a calm gaze. There were no outsiders. My entire body was wound up like a tight spring. My hands gripped her shoulders tightly, my body completely tense. I lowered my voice to a bare whisper, filled with an uncontrollable panic. There's something in here. She asked in a gentle tone. What did you see? My body was stiff, and I took a slight step back, my shoulders tense and trembling. My gaze was glued to the corner of the wall, my voice deep and strained. A cockroach, it flies. Fu Huan froze for a second, then let out a soft chuckle. With a mix of helplessness and indulgence, she said, You're afraid of cockroaches. Get me out of here. My tone was hurried, almost commanding. The mere thought of having touched it directly just now made my back go completely numb, and the hairs all over my body stood on end. Cockroaches have been my one and only psychological trauma since childhood. The next second, the cockroach suddenly flew up from the corner and landed on the window. I shuddered violently, my face turning completely pale. Instinctively, I tried to dodge backward. In my panic, the hands gripping the woman's shoulders tightened forcefully. Fu Huan let out a soft groan. The wound on her chest seemed to have been strained. Don't move around rashly. Her voice, however, remained gentle. The more you panic, the easier it is to attract it. I froze instantly, sweat dripping from my forehead, my voice turning incredibly tight. Take me away. Fu Huan glanced at the dim and messy bathroom, her eyebrows knitting slightly. Outside the door, the old man asked anxiously, Young man, are you okay? Her voice was smooth and gentle, as she blocked the doorway to keep the elder from coming in. It's nothing, just a minor scare. Then she took my arm and quickly led me out of the bathroom. Back in the bedroom, she helped me sit down by the edge of the bed. Is it really worth being scared to this extent? Her tone carried a faint hint of amusement. I could neither stand nor sit comfortably. My body still slightly tense and trembling. My mind was entirely filled with that flying cockroach from just now. I propped my hands on either side of my body, my spine stiffening, trying hard to force myself to calm down. Fu Huan looked at my tense, forced endurance, her gaze shifting slightly. She suddenly felt that this kind of man who was clearly terrified yet putting up a front, refusing to show weakness, made her heart flutter exceptionally. You sleep on the bed tonight. The woman felt that if she didn't leave now, there was no telling what she might do. Just as she was planning to walk away, she heard me say, Wait a minute. I stared fearfully at the wall, at that slowly crawling insect, not daring to take my eyes off it for a single second. This room truly has all kinds of things in it. Everywhere you look, there are spiders, insects, and moths. Don't tell me you're even afraid of bugs. Are you even a man? I shook my head, wanting to say that when I was a kid, I feared neither heaven nor earth, and wasn't afraid of anything. But ever since I was traumatized by a flying cockroach, I've been utterly terrified of all insect-like creatures down to my bones. Put your clothes on first. Hearing the woman's reminder, I looked down at myself in confusion. With this look, I realized I was only wrapped in a bath towel. Already on the verge of a breakdown, I completely lost it now. I threw my clothes on in a few quick motions, feeling so embarrassed I wished I could just disappear. Go to sleep. The woman didn't mock me. After blowing out the oil lamp, she lay down right next to me. I suddenly reacted, You're going to sleep here tonight. Otherwise, I hesitated, saying, Two strangers meeting by chance sleeping in the same room. If people found out about this, it would ruin your reputation. The woman interrupted my words. Don't worry. I have no interest in you. Besides, I'm injured, so nothing can happen. Thinking about it, I felt it made sense, but I still couldn't let my guard down. Seeing my hesitant expression, the woman said, If a cockroach appears, I can help you deal with it. I'm not as terrified of bugs as you are. I like the sound of that. After tossing and turning all day, I was exhausted too. I slowly lay down on the bed and fell asleep. The next morning, the whistling wind made the paper-covered windows rattle loudly. I didn't know if it was because the wind was too strong or because this old house had fallen into disrepair over the years, but several tiles on the roof were actually blown off, crashing to the ground with a loud clatter. As a luxury aircraft flew closer and closer, the roof tiles fell even faster. In the end, more than half of the roof was completely stripped off before anyone noticed. The things inside the house lost their shelter and were all blown askew by the wind. Even the windows were completely gone. The two elders who were organizing fishing nets in the yard were scared out of their wits and hurriedly hid in a corner, staring at this magnificent aircraft. It tried to descend from the sky several times, but unfortunately the space was too tight. After circling in the air a few times, it could only choose to land on the beach not far away. Many nearby residents and fishermen ran out to watch the commotion. This isolated little fishing village had never experienced such a massive stir before. I was woken up by the noisy sound, only to find myself actually hugging Fu Qinghwan while sleeping. I hurriedly sat up. Fortunately, both of our clothes were completely intact. Looking at Fu Qinghwan, she was staring at me with a face full of disdain. Last night you treated me like a pillow, hugging me back and forth. How was anyone supposed to sleep? What? I hugged her for the whole night. I recalled the dream I had last night. It turned out the soft, fragrant thing I was hugging in my dream wasn't some puppy or kitten, but actually this woman. Then why didn't you wake me up? I was worried that if I woke you up, what if your beastly instincts kicked in? By then, it wouldn't be as simple as just a few hugs. How can this woman speak so terribly? Suddenly I realized, what was that noise outside just now? My people have arrived to pick us up. Fu Qinghwan stood up languidly. Let's go. Right now, but I haven't even brushed my teeth or washed my face yet. Right now, but I haven't even brushed my teeth or washed my face yet. The woman teased, I'll take you to another place to do it. Or, do you want to go wash up in that room with the cockroach? Hearing the word cockroach, I immediately shook my head like a rattle. Although I didn't want to leave with her. Besides this, I had no other choice but to walk out of the old house with her. A lot of curious fishermen had already gathered outside. Not far away, a magnificent private jet was parked. A private logo was engraved on the fuselage, looking high-end, elegant, and top-tier. I had lived in a privileged environment since childhood, so what kind of luxury jet had I not been on? But this plane with its hefty price tag of $1 billion ranked at the very top of all luxury aircraft. When it was first built, it caused quite a sensation among many wealthy magnates. It was said to contain a living room, an office area, an entertainment zone, a leisure area, a bedroom, and a whole series of essential spaces. A woman walked down from the jet, looking at this grand aura. Isn't she the legendary rich second generation? I didn't expect this wealthy lady to walk toward me, even carrying a faint smile on her face. I thought, oh my god, is this a pursuer of mine, even if I am attractive? How did this pursuer know that I was in this small fishing village and needed help? But if she isn't a pursuer, why does she keep looking over to my side? The woman walked toward me step by step. If she confesses her love to me in a moment, what excuse should I use to reject her properly? I already have a girlfriend, and don't want to accept any other woman. Just as I was agonizing over this, the woman passed right by my side and walked straight up to Fu Qinghwan. Miss, I've finally found you. Your subordinate deserves 10,000 deaths for being late. I didn't expect those two factions would dare to make a move on the plane. What, miss? I looked at the woman wondering what on earth her identity was. Why did she sound like someone with a massive background? Has everything been thoroughly investigated? Fu Qinghwan had no intention of blaming her, asking instead with a perfectly calm and casual tone. Aside from the Black Dragon Society and the Polar Organization, there is also a group of people with unknown origins. Before the Black Dragon Society and the Polar Organization could act, the other party had already blown up the plane's wing. They came with aggressive momentum. Who were they targeting? The subordinate hesitated for a moment and said their target was a man. However, the casualties among the passengers on board were heavy, so we haven't found the clue yet. After the woman finished her report, she stole a glance at me. Who is this man? To actually be able to stand so close to our young miss? You should know our young miss has kept her distance from men for years and hates having close contact with them. Yet miss doesn't seem to be repulsed by him. Fu Qinghwan lowered her gaze slightly, seemingly contemplating something. After a moment, she ordered, find someone to come over and redesign and renovate this house. When you landed just now, you blew their roof off. The woman lowered her head, admitting her mistake, and said guiltily, it was my blunder. Fu Qinghwan asked the elderly woman nearby, do you know how to grow vegetables? The elderly woman was already too shocked to speak. Judging from the conversation between the master and servant, this woman is definitely not simple. The subordinate on the side saw that she didn't speak, her eyebrows knitting slightly. Our miss is asking you a question. The elderly woman hurriedly replied, yes. Give her a vegetable garden then. After Fu Qinghwan gave the order, she turned her head to look at me. I never expected that she would actually take last night's joke seriously. For a moment, I didn't even know how to answer. For the accommodation fee, I will compensate them with a brand new home. As for the medical expenses you mentioned, Xiao Xiao, write them a check for 1 million. Hearing the Mrs. order, Xiao Xiao was about to write it when she suddenly thought of something. Miss, there are no banks nearby that can cash a check. None at all. If this couple gets a check, forget about whether they can cash it within thousands of miles. Even if they do cash it, carrying it back would be a huge hassle on the road. Then make it cash, Fu Qinghuan said decisively. Xiao Xiao brought a suitcase of cash from the plane and presented it to the elderly woman. This is a token of our Mrs. appreciation. Please accept it. The elderly woman was stunned, her hands trembling as she opened the suitcase. Inside lay neat stacks of RMB. The sheer amount of it instantly caused the elderly woman to faint. Old woman. The fisherman hurriedly supported her. When he took a look inside the suitcase, he ended up fainting right along with her. They had never seen so much RMB in their entire lives. Come with me. Fu Qinghuan walked ahead, and I hurriedly followed behind her onto the plane. Inside the European-style cabin stood 8 sofas, with audio-visual systems visible everywhere. I knew that this was the one with the best performance among all luxury aircraft. Take him to wash up. After Fu Qinghuan gave the order, she went into the bedroom's shower room, leaving the other large bathroom for me. Xiao Xiao made an inviting gesture. Sir, please come with me. I followed behind Xiao Xiao. I wanted to ask what kind of person Fu Qinghuan was, but on second thought, I felt it wasn't necessary. After all, we would go our separate ways as soon as we got off the plane, and there wouldn't be much chance to meet again in the future. Here are the toiletries. Over here are the change of clothes. The bathroom is that way, fully equipped with shower supplies. Xiao Xiao introduced everything politely. I marveled secretly in my heart. Looking at the clothes on the side, I asked, "Are these for me too?" "Yes, sir." My tone carried a hint of sarcasm. Aside from clothes, there are even men's undergarments. Thinking about it made me feel a bit uncomfortable. Xiao Xiao thought I had misunderstood something, and hurriedly explained, "No, it's not like that. This is what the miss ordered in a text message last night. They should all be in your size." The tips of my ears turned red instantly. When did she send a text? How could I not know at all just around 11 o'clock last night? With Xiao Xiao's reminder, I remembered. At that time, I had already been lying in bed for quite a while. Did she take advantage of me being asleep to secretly use my phone to send a text? Damn it! Don't tell me she also pried into other things on my phone. Thinking of this, shame and anger instantly flooded my chest. With a slam, I shut the bathroom door. "Sir, if you need anything, you can press the call system on the wall. I am at your disposal at any time." After Xiao Xiao finished speaking, she retreated with utmost respect. As I washed up, I cursed in my heart. To think she actually secretly used my phone. How despicable. Even cursing her thousands of times in my mind didn't vent my anger. When I came out after my bath, Fu Qinghuan was already having her meal at the dining table. I noticed she had also taken a bath, carrying a pleasant scent on her. After changing into a clean dress, Fu Qinghuan looked completely refreshed. Her movements while cutting the steak looked incredibly elegant. She is definitely not from an ordinary wealthy family. Just as I sat down, I heard her say, "You saved my life last night. Out of gratitude, I will give you 10 million as a reward." My movements froze. Why did these words sound so grating to the ears? Hearing this, Xiao Xiao immediately wrote a check for 10 million and respectfully presented it to me. "Sir, please accept our Mrs. token of appreciation." I refused coldly, no need. What happened last night was just a minor effort. Just consider it as paying for the taxes. As soon as Fu Qinghuan said this, Xiao Xiao was completely stupefied. What? This man actually stayed with the miss last night. What earth-shattering news. You should know her miss has kept her distance from men for years, let alone her retinue. Even her assistant is a woman like me. Usually when the old master wanted to set her up, she would reject him with a freezing attitude. Trying to get Miss to date someone is harder than climbing to heaven. What kind of wind blew yesterday? Or could it be that this man has some kind of magic to actually make Miss submit so willingly? I threw the check back at Fu Qinghuan. It should be said that this is the service fee I'm giving you instead. Thinking about it, I was still furious. So I took a $1 coin out of my wallet and tossed it over. Considering your good performance last night, this is an extra tip from me. Service fee. Good performance. Xiao Xiao became even more shocked. But being a top-tier elite, she acted fast with sharp eyes and quick hands, managing to intercept that check while simultaneously catching the $1 coin. Otherwise, these two things would have hit her young miss right in the face. Fu Qinghuan looked at me with an ambiguous gaze. I cleared my throat and said in a deep voice regarding what happened last night, "I hope you won't just casually talk about it to anyone. After all, we didn't do anything. I don't know how many men you have out there, but I'm someone with a girlfriend. So please show some consideration for me, Miss Fu." Xiao Xiao, standing to the side, could no longer be described as just stunned. How could Miss like someone who already has a girlfriend? And this guy doesn't even take her seriously. You should know Miss is the heiress who topped the Forbes billionaires list for 6 consecutive years. In terms of talent and looks, which part of her isn't enough to make people awestruck? Yet this man completely disregards our young miss. Xiao Xiao lamented in her heart, "Sir, your judgment really needs improvement. Even if you don't know Miss's identity, just judging from the luxury of this plane, no matter how you look at it, Miss, is far better than your girlfriend, right? Instead of quickly clinging to her, why are you kicking her away twice? You really are devoted to your girlfriend." Fu Qingquan's tone was hard to read, but Xiao Xiao could tell that her young miss was actually bothered by it. This is getting more and more interesting. But miss, don't be jealous either. Usually whatever you want is always within your grasp. Never mind that the other party has a girlfriend. Even if he were married, you could still snatch him over, couldn't you? I sneered. Miss Fu overestimates me. I'm just not as promiscuous as you are. Promiscuous. This man actually dares to say our young miss is promiscuous. Xiao Xiao almost choked on her breath. Fu Qingquan, however, wasn't angry at all. Smiling instead as she spoke, "Is that so? Eat up first so you'll have the energy to argue with me." I didn't stand on ceremony at all with the delicious food before me. I saved her life yesterday. Yet I've been annoyed to death by her time and again. Eating a breakfast of hers is certainly not asking too much. At this thought, I began to eat without holding back. Fu Qingquan looked at me with a smile, casually cutting a piece of steak and placing it on my plate. "Try it, the flavor is quite good." I used my knife and fork to push the steak directly aside. "Who wants to eat your leftovers? I can cut it myself." Xiao Xiao truly had her eyes open today. This gentleman is a genuine character, doing whatever he pleases, acting exactly how he wants, and completely disregarding her young miss. Having stayed by Miss's side since childhood, this is the very first time someone has treated her young miss like thin air. You should know those wealthy men. In front of Miss, not a single one of them doesn't wish to appear extremely affectionate and elegant. Yet this gentleman is truly a breath of fresh air. By the time I finished breakfast, the plane had already landed at Dongcheng's civilian airport. "Thanks for the hospitality, Miss Fu. May we never meet again. I hope we never see each other for the rest of our lives." I got off the plane briskly, hailed a taxi, and drove away. Fu Qingquan looked at my vanishing figure, seemingly contemplating something. Xiao Xiao asked cautiously from beside her, "Miss, are we going home?" She could feel that Miss was very unhappy. Back to the company, Fu Qingquan's tone was flat, seeming a little disappointed. Xiao Xiao meddled and added another line. "Should we look into his identity?" Fu Qingquan's cold gaze swept over, as if blaming Xiao Xiao for being nosy. Xiao Xiao shuddered. Just as she was about to admit she was being too nosy, she didn't expect Fu Qinghuan to say, "Xiao Xiao, I find you're understanding me more and more." Seeing the young Miss's red lips curl into a strange smile, Xiao Xiao trembled, not knowing whether she should feel relieved or worried. This is the first time Miss has ever acted like this for a man. Just now, in order to send him back. They didn't even stop when they passed over their own villa area, specifically flying to Dongcheng's only civilian airport, just to make it convenient for him to catch a taxi. This really shouldn't be happening. And it has only been one night. Xiao Xiao bowed her head to take the order. "Yes, miss, I'll go look into it right away." Fu Qingquan's gaze drifted out the window with great interest. After getting into the car, I gave an address, Qingyun Group. "Thanks." Hearing this name, the taxi driver asked in some surprise, "Are you talking about the Qingyun Group located on Linjiang South Road? Is there any problem?" The taxi driver opened his mouth but didn't say anything. This gentleman probably hasn't been back in a long time, so he doesn't even know the group's name has changed. Shifting gears, the driver didn't pry any further, stepping on the gas and driving toward the destination. I breathed in the air outside the window. "Dongcheng, I'm finally back." The wind blowing against my face carried a long-lost feeling. I was in a great mood, and suddenly realized I hadn't texted my parents yet. Forget it, I'll just show up directly later and give them a surprise. Today is Lu Nianian's birthday. The gift I had worked so hard to prepare for her had vanished without a trace after I jumped off the plane. I felt a bit frustrated. That woman who stole my first kiss? If it weren't for her, I wouldn't have gotten mixed up in all this mess. I pulled out my phone and dialed a cake shop's number. "Excuse me, do you have any ready-made cakes right now?" "Young Master Yan, is that you?" The receptionist almost dropped the phone. For over a decade, all the desserts and pastries for the Yan family had been ordered from here, so she knew the number of everyone in the Yan family, deeply engraved in her heart. However, the reason she was so shocked right now was because she hadn't seen this number in 3 years. "Yes, I'm back in the country and want to order the biggest cake. Can you manage to get it ready today? Are you ordering it for Miss Lu?" In the past, at this time of year, the Yan family would always order a cake for Lu Nianian. Everyone in the cake shop knew about it. But the receptionist felt it was necessary to remind him the second young master Yan has already sent one over. I didn't expect Yan Yibai to be so thoughtful. My half-brother usually considers my feelings in every way, even handling a small matter like ordering a cake personally. Thinking of this, I smiled in relief. Then there's no need. "Thank you." There was no need to feel embarrassed about showing up empty-handed either, since we're all family after all. At this thought, I raised my eyes to look at the scenery outside the window. The closer we got to my family's group, the better the environment became. You should know, my family's group is one of the top enterprises in Dongcheng. Just as I was lost in thought, the taxi slowly came to a stop. We're here. I paid the fare. When I got out of the car, I suddenly noticed, why did the name change? What on earth is going on with Ching's group? I looked around, half believing, half doubting. This is indeed the Yan family's territory. All the buildings are exactly the same as before. But before I could wrap my head around this name, two employees wearing work badges walked past me in a hurry. Didn't President Yan say yesterday that he wouldn't be here today? We need to keep a closer eye on this project. President Yan just has so much experience. Under his leadership, the profits over these past 3 years have increased quite a bit, right? I hurriedly stopped them. Hey, wait a minute. Is the President Yan you mentioned Yan Yuandong? Yes, that's right. The two of them smiled quite awkwardly. Then it's nothing. Sorry to bother you. The two gave me a strange look and left quickly. So it turns out, my family's group just changed its name. The doubts and anxiety that surged within me just now were completely put to rest at this moment. I stepped into the grand lobby of the group. Hello? Who are you looking for? Seeing someone arrive, the receptionist immediately stood up respectfully and greeted me with a sweet smile. Hello, my name is Yan Chen. I am Yan Yuandong's son and the executive president of this group. Could you please notify them for me and tell them I've returned to the country and need to head up right now? As soon as I finished speaking, the other party suddenly burst out laughing. Her previous respect vanished instantly, replaced by pure disdain. Sir, did you walk into the wrong place? There is only one person with the surname Yan who is the group's executive president, and that is our president Yan Yuandong. You claim to be his son. President Yan also has only one son, and that is our chairman Yan Yibai. The receptionist sneered. Don't you even bother to do some research before coming here to lie? I was completely bewildered. Yan Yibai has become the chairman too, 3 years ago when grandfather passed away, and the lawyer announced the will. It was stated crystal clear. 80% of the shares of Qingyun Group and the Yan family's tens of billions in assets would be under a fair competition between me and my father Yan Yuandong. Whoever met the inheritance conditions first would gain the qualification to inherit. Before the will was officially inherited, both my father and I were the executive presidents of this group, managing the group's affairs together. The will did not mention Yan Yibai at all, so how could this have anything to do with him? I asked with a forced smile. Is it possible that there's a misunderstanding? What I said is the truth. The Yan Yibai you mentioned is my younger brother. The receptionist maintained a professional smile and said, Oh really, I've been working here for 3 years, and I've never heard that Chairman Yan has an older brother. I insisted. Yan Yuandong is my father. If I were a fraud, how would I know his name? The receptionist's lips twitched slightly, and she decided to stop being polite. There are plenty of people who know our President Yan's name. I don't know where you got the insider info from to know that our President Yan isn't here today, so you ran over here to pretend to be his son. But let me give you a piece of advice. Fraud isn't a good business to be in. She advised me in the tone of an elder, leaving me caught between tears and laughter. You really misunderstood. I am his genuine, real-deal son, and I am Jack Ma's daughter. Seeing that you look quite handsome, why choose to do this kind of shady business instead of a decent job? I think you just want to sneak into our President Yan's office and steal things. Seeing how decently you wear these fake luxury brands, I didn't expect you to be a total fraud. When I first walked in, the receptionist thought it was some important client, but it turns out to be nothing but a complete scammer. I really am not lying to you. Both my dad and I are the executive presidents of this group. Yesterday, there was also another guy who claimed to be the boyfriend of our chairman Lu. Making a huge scene here, it was truly ridiculous. You might as well use that excuse. It has a higher credibility. I grew even more confused. Are you talking about Lu Nianian? I am indeed her boyfriend. The receptionist rolled her eyes and almost fainted. And I am Wang Xikong's girlfriend. It seems you really refuse to listen to reason. If you don't leave now, I'll have the security guards throw you out. I knew it was useless to waste more words with her, so I could only say patiently, how about this? Connect me to that phone, and I will speak with your President Yan myself. This is the best way to prove my identity. The receptionist rolled her eyes deeply. Sir, if you keep being this stubborn, I'm really going to call the police. Leave quickly. Today is a great day. Don't bring us bad luck. I continued to ask. What great day? Well, you wouldn't know about it, would you? Today is the birthday of our future young mistress, Chairman Lu. All the executives went to the Sky Garden to celebrate for her. Only an idiot like you is standing here, pretending to be our President Yan's son. Instead of wasting time pulling a scam here, you should find a way to go over there and see what the real young master of the Yan family actually looks like. I know, continuing to talk to her was a complete waste of time. I hailed a taxi, got in, and felt both angry and amused in my heart. Should I say this receptionist was intentionally making things difficult? Or should I say she was dedicated to her job? I pulled out my phone to call my parents, but after trying several times, no one answered. I called my younger brother next. And after that, I called Lu Nianian. But without exception, none of these four people picked up my calls. I turned to the driver and asked, Master, I have a question for you. Why did Qingyan Group suddenly become Qingxi Group? I don't know. I've been here for 2 years and it's always been Qingxi Group. I've never heard of any Qingyan Group. I nodded and didn't ask further. After arriving at Dongcheng First Hotel, I went to the Sky Garden on the top floor. Since I didn't have an invitation, the 2 security guards absolutely refused to let me in. No matter how I explained it, they remained entirely strictly impartial, showing not a shred of leniency. Go, 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 don't linger around here. I really am Yan Yuandong's son. If you don't leave, we're going to get rough. Isn't this Ah Chen? A familiar smile suddenly appeared in front of me. I raised my eyes, Brother Hao. Not seeing him for 3 years, he has gotten even more handsome. The 2 security guards saw him and hurriedly greeted him. Hello, eldest young Master Shi. Hello. He clearly didn't care about them, turning to look at me instead. When did you return to the country? How come I didn't hear my playful sister mention it? The other day, when the old man forced her into marriage, she even used you as a shield, telling the old man to carve a man in your image for her. It made us laugh so hard. Brother Hao, stop teasing me. You've been enjoying making fun of me since we were kids. How could that be considered a joke? To be able to catch the eye of my playful sister and have her chase you for 3 whole years. You completely broke her record for the longest time chasing someone. You are truly the hardest one to get. You are the most difficult one to deal with. Brother Hao laughed and patted my shoulder. Brother Hao, please stop teasing me. You came at just the right time. They don't believe my identity, so please help vouch for me. Brother Hao tapped his chin with his finger. Then what benefits do I get out of this? Just consider it that I owe Brother Hao a favor, and I will definitely return it in the future. As long as it's within my power, Brother Hao can just say the word. Did you both see that clearly? If you know what's good for you, get out of the way. How could the 2 security guards have known that the man in front of them was truly the eldest young master of the Yan family? They hurriedly let me pass. After thanking Brother Hao, I was just about to walk inside. But then I heard Brother Hao say, but Ah Chen, you really didn't choose the right time to come today. Brother Hao, I don't understand what you mean by that. As far as I know, a great show is about to be staged later. I'm someone who loves a good commotion. But if it's a show that isn't up to par, I would never come in person. I was left completely in the dark by his words. Suddenly, the lights dimmed abruptly, leaving only a single spotlight in the entire venue, projected onto the stage. Yan Yuandong stood on the stage smiling cheerfully. Here I have a piece of happy news to announce. Regarding my son's marriage. The entire audience cooperatively quieted down, waiting expectantly for the announcement of the group merger. When did this happen? I was somewhat puzzled, yet at the same time, a bit curious. If Dad wanted to announce the marriage between me and Lu Nianian, why didn't he discuss it with me in advance? To think he would spring this on everyone like this. Let's welcome the daughter-in-law of the Yan family, Lu Nianian, to the stage. Yan Yuandong took the lead in applauding. I stood below the stage and clapped along. Not having seen her for 3 years, Lu Nianian had become quite a bit leaner. A gentle smile graced her face, making her look even more approachable. Just looking at her from afar made me feel how wonderful she was. Now let's welcome my son Yan Yibai to the stage. Following Yan Yuandong's voice, the entire venue burst into applause. Yan Yibai walked onto the stage with a smile. Not having seen him for 3 years, he had grown a lot more mature. But what I didn't expect at all was that Lu Nianian's hand was actually holding Yan Yibai's. The 2 of them looked at each other with deep affection. Just like a couple passionately in love, the feeling of a bolt from the blue came too fast. I almost couldn't stand firm, taking a staggered step backward. I couldn't believe it. My girlfriend and my younger brother were actually going to announce their marriage. Brother Hao casually supported me. Can't accept this scene already. The best part of the show is still to come. Yan Yuandong's hearty laughter rang out. On this beautiful day, I announced that the Yan family and the Lu family are joining in marriage. My son Yan Yibai will marry the successor of the Lu family, Lu Nianian. Their wedding will be held on the 28th of next month. Today is not only the grand celebration of the 3rd anniversary of the merger between Qingyan Group and Lu's group, but also Nianian's birthday banquet, as well as the engagement banquet for the 2 of them. The words engagement banquet felt like a heavy blow to the head, catching me completely off guard. I only felt a loud buzzing in my brain, along with an unprecedented heartbreaking pain. The girlfriend I had loved for 8 years was about to get engaged to my younger brother. How could this be possible? On this beautiful day, I also have a regretful matter to announce. My eldest son, Yan Chen, was involved in an accident on the plane he took yesterday. From today onward, I, Yan Yuandong, only have 1 son left, and that's Yibai. Since Ah Chen had an accident, it stands to reason he loses his inheritance rights. The future operation of the company will rely on Yibai and Nianian. As soon as Yan Yuandong said this, the entire audience was shocked. While silently mourning for me, They also secretly size up Lu Nianian and Yan Yibai, the two successors. It seems the Qingxi group is going to change masters from now on. I didn't expect things would turn out like this. Dad announced my death way too prematurely, making me feel like I didn't matter at all. Even if I was in an accident, didn't Dad even bother to look for me? 3 years ago, I sent Ah Chen abroad, originally wanting him to learn perfume making skills, so he could help me manage the group after returning to the country. I didn't expect heaven to be jealous of talent. It can only be said that he just didn't have this good fortune. Today is a happy day, so let's put Ah Chen's matter aside for now. Say no more, everyone, please feel free. Cheers. May our group become better and better. After Yan Yuandong finished speaking, he raised his glass in a toast, and all the guests in the venue raised their glasses in response. My heart felt as if it were being cut by knives. Looking at that radiant, beaming man on the stage, I couldn't believe it. Is this still my dad? Dad, you still have me and Yibai to show filial piety to you in the future? Don't be sad anymore. Lu Nianian supported his arm tonight as they slowly walked down the stage. Yeah, Dad, although you lost a son, you gained a daughter like Nianian. Heaven hasn't treated you poorly either. After all, you win some and you lose some, right? Yan Yibai supported his other arm. Yan Yuandong patted his shoulder. Present here today are also President Lin of the Lin's group and President Chen of the Wanhui group. I'll take you guys over to get acquainted. Yu Ying, you come over too. I'll be traveling on business a lot in the future, so I'll have to trouble you to worry more about the kids' affairs. What are you talking about? No matter what, I am still the chairman of the group. Even if they weren't my own children, I would still take good care of them. My stepmother Zhang Yuying smiled radiantly. Looking at this family of four, I suddenly felt like an outsider. Watching this scene unfold with my own eyes, I couldn't help but tremble. I've only been gone for 3 years, yet everything has completely changed. And Wandong led them. After greeting the executives of different groups, the family of four came to the dining table talking and laughing. Just as they were about to eat, you all seemed so happy. Did something interesting happen? Following the sound of my voice, the expressions of the family of four suddenly changed. Yan Yibai was the first to react, his eyes widening in disbelief. Brother, you're back. What? I shouldn't have come back. You're not dead. Did you want me dead? That's not what I meant. It's just impossible that even after that, he never expected his older brother would actually return alive. Yan Yuandong's face had also changed colors just like his. Ah Chen, didn't the plane you were on have an accident? I saw the news report stating that no passenger survived. I smiled coldly. So you didn't even bother to look for me and just pronounced me dead directly. I completely couldn't describe my feelings at that moment just now. My own biological dad announced my death without a single ripple of emotion. Seeing this, Zhang Yuying tried to smooth things over with a half-blaming smile. Ah Chen, you are being too naughty. Since you survived, you should have at least called home to let us know you're safe. You have no idea how worried the four of us were. We couldn't sleep well the whole night. Oh really? I see every single one of you looking full of energy, not looking like you lacked sleep at all. I raised my eyes. On the contrary, being able to inherit the estate under my name. Aren't you all very happy? Yan Yuandong noticed that I was getting emotional and immediately snapped in a scolding tone. Yan Chen, how can you speak to your mother like that? I know that regarding Nianian and Yibai's matter, you can't accept it for the time being. But with so many guests present, you must at least consider the Yan family's reputation. Put away your childish temper. Then who is going to consider my feelings? I glared fiercely at Lu Nianian. As long as she was willing to give me a reasonable explanation, I could let bygones be bygones. But she didn't show even a shred of guilt. Ah Chen, I'm sorry for what happened between me and Yibai. I delayed telling you the truth for so long, was precisely because I feared you would become hysterical like this. Hysterical. I've been betrayed by the people I love and cherish the most. Am I supposed to just bear it silently without any complaints or regrets? Over these past 8 years, if you had come clean with me even just one day earlier, things wouldn't have turned out like this today. On one hand, you said you loved me, while on the other hand, you secretly committed your life to my younger brother. Lu Nianian, is this your so-called love for me? As I said this, I was both furious and heartbroken. Yesterday, she was still saying she loved me on WeChat. So how did everything change today? Who can ever say for sure when it comes to feelings? Zhang Yuying adjusted her shawl and advised in the tone of an elder. Nianian and Yibai are deeply in love now. Could you really bear to break up these lovebirds? A forced relationship never works out. Instead of tearing each other's faces off, it's better to generously give them your blessings. We're all family anyway. Whether Nianian chooses you or Yibai, is there really any difference? I roared, there is a difference. Yibai is Yibai, and I am me. I am the future successor of the group. No, you're not. Didn't you hear what your dad just announced? Yibai is also a successor now. You came back at just the right time. Nianian is pregnant. Yibai is too busy to handle everything, so you can just give him a hand and help him out. I almost couldn't catch my breath. My entire being felt as if struck by lightning. You guys... I never expected that they even have a child together already. Brother, in a few more months, my baby will be born. Soon, you're going to be an uncle. Aren't you happy? After Yan Yibai finished speaking, a gleam of triumphant provocation flashed in his eyes. Such an obvious show of dominance. How could I not see through it? Brother, you've studied abroad since childhood and are highly knowledgeable. Why don't you help name our child? Yan Yibai clearly knew I was in deep pain, yet he deliberately rubbed salt into my wounds. That's a good idea. Yan Yuandong agreed and said, Ah Chen, if you feel uncomfortable in your heart, have the child call you godfather, and the name will also be decided by you. How about that? I smiled with a freezing heart. Is this supposed to be charity? If this hadn't happened, I wouldn't have known that my own family could be shameless to this extent. Then let's name it Yan Jianli, I said with a sneer, so that when this child grows up, they will gradually distance themselves from you. How about that? Zhang Yuying said angrily. Yan Chen, did I waste my time teaching you manners all these years? Auntie, you'd better teach yourself properly first. I picked up a glass of wine. Since you are getting married, shouldn't I propose a toast to you? Yan Yibai still maintained his gentlemanly demeanor. I'm glad you came back alive. Nianian and I need your blessings for our wedding, I said with a smile. Then I wish you infertility, yet a house full of bastard children. After saying that, I fiercely splashed the wine right into his face. Lu Nianian was startled. Brother Chen, you've gone too far. No matter what, Yibai is still your younger brother. How could you bring yourself to do this? How utterly uncultured. Yan Yuandong never expected that I would make such a disrespectful move. Yet, I didn't think there was anything wrong with my behavior at all. Instead, I picked up another glass of wine and walked up to Lu Nianian. With this glass of wine, I toast to us never seeing each other again until we die. After saying that, I splashed the glass forward. Zhang Yuying wanted to intercept it, but it was already too late. The dark red liquid ruined Lu Nianian's makeup. Seeing my own dad and girlfriend caring so deeply about another person, my heart ached intensely. Are these still the family members I used to know? I smashed the empty wine glass in my hand fiercely onto the ground. Directing a hateful gaze at Yan Yuandong, I said word by word, this glass is just like our relationship. It can never be restored. From this day onward, all ties between us are severed. You walk your broad highway, and I'll cross my narrow log bridge. Like a wounded lone wolf, I left everyone's sight. Outside without me noticing, a torrential downpour had started. Heartbroken, I walked into the rain, accepting the cold baptism of this world. It's time to wake up. I've been a fool for 8 years. It's time to snap out of it. The damp cold rain mercilessly drenched my heart. I burst into a miserable loud laugh, feeling like my entire existence was a joke. As I laughed and laughed, I began to cry again. The heavy rain soaked my body, and I was in so much pain that I couldn't pull myself out of it. Many vehicles honked their horns furiously at me. Are you a psycho? If you want to die, roll far away. Don't get my damn car dirty. Get out of the way quickly. Are you deaf? Didn't you hear the horn? I laughed out loud. I was just like a madman. The harsher others cursed, the happier I laughed. Suddenly, a black car drove through the intersection, speeding rapidly toward me. I recognized this car model, this license plate number, and this color. Isn't it Lu Nianian's? I stood solemnly in place. Nianian has come to find me. Does she know she was wrong? So she's coming to beg for my forgiveness. I didn't know if I should forgive her. These 8 years of feelings were like reality, already stitched stitch by stitch, together with my youth. To tear out the part of the memories belonging to her, I just couldn't do it. With a loud bang, it didn't avoid me. I watched with my own eyes as that black car crashed into me, my brain going blank in an instant. So it turns out she wants me dead. My eyes widened suddenly. I couldn't believe it. Just because I splashed a glass of wine on Yan Yibai, she specifically drove over to run me over and kill me. My laughter grew more and more eerie. My body slammed heavily onto the ground and I lost consciousness. The rain ruthlessly poured down on me as a bright crimson color spread across the ground. Miss, we hit someone? An anxious voice suddenly rang out. I couldn't control President Lu's car properly. When I just noticed someone in the rain, I couldn't brake in time. The person in the back seat didn't even lift her eyelids. Her voice crisp and clear. Find someone to handle it. Xiao Xiao reached out to wipe the windshield. Taking a closer look, Miss, it seems to be Mr. Yan. I hit Mr. Yan. This single sentence suddenly made the person in the back seat raise her head. It's him, with a bang. The car door had already been opened. Fu Qingquan walked briskly toward that figure. Before Xiao Xiao could react, her young miss had already bent down and supported the man up with great effort. Miss, be careful with your body. Contact Dr. Zhang and go home. Yes. Fu Qingquan looked at the person in her arms. It's raining so heavily. What is Ah Chen doing? He didn't even dodge when a car came. The blood on the back of his head mixed with the rain, staining Fu Qingquan's dress red. Xiao Xiao, speed up. Yes, miss, I'm already driving as fast as I can. Finally, Xiao Xiao drove the car into the Xilan Villa area. This place, known as the most expensive land in Dongcheng, is precisely Fu Qingquan's home. Hello, miss. Following Fu Qinghuan's hurried steps, the doctors and nurses followed closely behind her. Arriving in the living room, how could the young miss, who always has a germophobia, put someone dripping with water all over onto the bed? And it's a man too. The doctors and nurses looked at each other. Miss, aren't we going to bandage this gentleman's wounds? Get out, get out. What does the young miss want to do? At this moment, a servant came in carrying a basin. After everyone had left, she reached out to take off my soaking wet shirt. A hot towel wiped back and forth across my body. Come in. Hearing the young miss's voice, the people waiting outside the door flocked inside, and at a single glance they saw Fu Qinghuan, wiping down my body for me. Hurry up and treat the wound. Xiao Xiao marveled silently to herself on the side. She actually looked at his body, up and down completely. This kind of thing could be left to a caregiver, or at least left to me instead. How could the young miss do this kind of rough work? Don't go. I suddenly grabbed the doctor's hem, murmuring in pain. Dr. Zhang trembled, his movement of applying the medicine becoming heavier. The pain made me gasp. Get lost. Fu Qinghuan pushed Dr. Zhang aside with force. So clumsy you can't even handle a small matter like this well. Fu Qinghuan personally applied the medicine for me. Why treat me like this? Why? What's going on? Was Ah Chen bullied by someone? Xiao Xiao, go find out what happened. Yes, miss. When has she ever cared about a man this much? In addition, change all the servants at home to males. Since Fu Qinghuan avoided men for many years, the servants at home were all female. This was also the reason why she just personally wiped down my body for me. Sir, you're awake. Yes, I am the servant responsible for looking after you. Where is this? You're replying to sir. This is the Ceylon Villa area. The Ceylon Villa area, the most expensive French villa area in Dongcheng. How could I be here? The assistant accidentally hit you with the car? Do you still remember? Before I could recall it carefully, bursts of pain suddenly came from the back of my head. When you fell, you accidentally bumped it. The wound isn't deep, and he has already bandaged it up for you. I pondered for a moment before remembering the cause and effect. Just as I wanted to get out of bed, the servant hurriedly stepped forward to stop me. You wouldn't. Forget who our young miss is, would you? I really have no impression of it. After being hit by the car, I lost consciousness completely. As for who saved me, I didn't have time to take a single look at all. Where is your young miss? She went to take a shower. She got caught in the rain today in order to bring you back and save you. I didn't know, since when I had been wearing a bathrobe. What is going on? Sir, you were soaked by the rain. The situation was urgent. So to prevent your cold from worsening, we specially brought a nightgown for you. How was this changed? Did you help me? Sir, is there anything else? No, nothing else. All right, where are my clothes? They have already been washed and placed in the drying room for you. Please wait a moment, I'll go get them right away. The servant bowed respectfully and walked out. I sized up the surrounding environment. The entire room was filled with exquisite and luxurious decorations, and even the cultivation and manners of the servants were excellent, which was enough to show the noble status of this house's owner. Even though the person who drove the car and hit me wasn't Lu Nianian, the 8 years of feelings had already grown into a towering tree in my heart. Now that it was being pulled out by its roots, it hurt so much that I could barely breathe. Sir, your clothes are here? They are still a bit damp. Do you want to wear them? I gave a grunt. You can leave now. I'll handle the rest myself. Just as I untied the bathrobe, I suddenly heard a charming voice as the room door was pushed open. I heard you woke up. A slender figure walked in. I never expected someone would come in at this time. It's you. Why are you here? The woman curled her red lips and said, This is my house. What? I was stunned for a few seconds. Get out. The woman let out a soft laugh. Is there anyone who kicks the owner out like you do? It's not like there's anything to see anyway. So what's the big deal? What do you mean by nothing to see? Damn it. Didn't your parents teach you basic manners? You don't even knock before coming in. Why should I knock before entering my own room? I was even more in disbelief. This is your room? The set you have on isn't dry yet. If you don't want your cold to get worse, take it off quickly. Honestly, bringing you clothes only to get yelled at by you. What is wrong with the world? I shook my head in confusion. I have a cold, no wonder I kept feeling so dizzy. So, it was you who saved me. My tone just now was indeed very bad. No matter what, thank you for saving me. It's getting late. I'll be leaving first. Leaving? Where else can you go? I already investigated everything. I'm very clear about what happened at the Sky Garden. I can stay at a hotel first. It's so late, and if you walk out of my place alone, my people might think you were kicked out by me. Wouldn't that ruin my reputation? I couldn't help but think to myself she was chased by 2 groups of people. What good reputation could she possibly have left? But I could tell that she wanted to help me recover from my injuries. Besides, you saved me once before. So consider this as me returning the favor. Before you find a place to stay, just live here. For now, Fu Qinghuan added reassuringly. I have no interest in skinny monkeys. A skinny monkey. How dare she call me a skinny monkey? Does your head still hurt? It doesn't. Then rest first. I'll go check if dinner is ready. I looked at the brand new set of clothes in my hand. Could this size and style have been bought specifically for me? Thinking of this, I shook my head. Men must often stay overnight at her place, which is why she has all kinds of sizes available. I was planning to take a hot shower, only to find my own reflection in the mirror looking incredibly pale. Who would ever like someone looking like this? It's only natural that Lu Nianian would fall for someone else. Thinking of Lu Nianian, my heart ached intensely. 8 years of feelings turned into a sharp blade, stabbing me right in the heart when I least expected it. I don't know how much time had passed, but Fu Qingquan knocked on the room door. Come down to eat. Could Ah Chen have fallen asleep? Pushing open the door, the bathroom was lit with a warm yellow light, and steam was escaping from the crack in the door. Fu Qingquan was just about to leave, when suddenly an alarm rang out from the bathroom. Fu Qingquan instantly realized something was wrong. The woman twisted the doorknob, only to find the door was locked from the inside. Ah Chen, can you hear me? Open the door. The sweltering steam poured out. I collapsed on the ground. Fu Qingquan immediately helped me up. Yan Chen, wake up. Doctor? Miss, did you call for me? Re-bandage his wound? Immediately, yes. Changing the dressing right away. Stupid man fainting just from taking a shower? The moment I look away, you fall apart. Miss, the wound infection has caused a high fever. I'm afraid that no matter what method is used, we must bring his fever down to ensure his safety. I don't know how much time had passed, but I opened my blurry eyes. The bathroom was so blurry. You're awake. Do you feel uncomfortable anywhere? I nodded, then shook my head again. Nian? I shook my head, trying hard to see the woman in front of me clearly. I struggled to prop up my body. Does your head still hurt? I nodded, and then stared blankly at the blurry figure in front of me. What's wrong? Are you feeling terrible? I'll have Dr. Zhang come in to check on you. That cheating woman? How could she do that? Why did it have to be anyone else? Why did it have to be my younger brother? They even have a child together already. Fu Qingquan's beautiful brows furrowed slightly. Could Ah Chen be mistaking me for Lu Nianian? Isn't she just a woman? There are plenty of them in the world. She's different. My Nianian is different from everyone else. 1937. You said you felt bad just now. I'll let the doctor check on you. It's useless. It hurts right here. Why don't you love me anymore? What did I do wrong? Just tell me, and I can change everything. The next second, I pulled Fu Qingquan into a tight embrace. Fu Qingquan only felt her whole body heating up, and even her gaze began to lose focus. Ah Chen will be mine sooner or later, but not right now. The current Ah Chen doesn't even know who I am. The next morning, when I opened my eyes, there was no one left in the bedroom. I vaguely remembered being in the bathroom last night and somehow fainting. I had absolutely no idea what happened next. At this moment, a servant cleaning the living room saw me and walked downstairs. Mr. Yan, you're awake. I'll take you to the first floor to dine right away. No need? Where is your young miss? The servant smiled. Miss went to do an interview early this morning. An interview, just as I was feeling puzzled. A financial interview suddenly appeared on the TV screen. A female group president. A single young lady who has occupied the #1 spot on the rich list for 6 consecutive years. Yes, that is our young miss. No wonder I always felt her name sounded familiar. It turns out she is the CEO of Chengguang Group. I had privately imagined many possibilities for her identity, but I never expected it to be this. Our young miss is excellent, isn't she? Mr. Yan paired with our young miss. The two of you will definitely give birth to the most beautiful baby in the world. Baby, I shifted the topic and asked, do you know where my phone went? Mr. Yan's phone was soaked by the rain yesterday. We took it to be repaired and it's right in that room you just came out of. Thank you. I turned back to the bedroom and it indeed turned on. I know you definitely won't believe it now that I'm saying it. Lu Nianian hooked up with Yibai a long time ago. She kept in touch with me while sleeping with Yibai. Now they even have a child together. What this Lu Nianian actually dared to do such a thing. I only found out the truth yesterday as well. Yesterday was her birthday. But I never expected she would get engaged to Yibai. Did you know? Yesterday was also the anniversary of our Qingyan group, merging for 3 years. What merger? They have been merged for 3 years. And I only found out yesterday. Am I an idiot? Even the inheritance under my name has changed. Did you know? Yibai is now the president of the group, and even Auntie has become a chairman. What on earth happened? I remember the will your grandfather made back then didn't include them at all. Yes, their intentions are very obvious. They entered the group ahead of time to build good relationships with the internal staff, just waiting for my dad to inherit the estate so they could get a piece of the pie. I have to say, their wishful thinking is quite clever. Outrageous. This is completely going too far. Just wait for me, a young will go back right now to take revenge for you. Don't, young master. Don't you think my life is messy enough already? I'm calling you right now just to ask you what to do. What else can we do? Of course, take the inheritance back first. I paused for a moment. You have no idea. Inheriting the estate requires meeting 2 conditions. Between me and my dad, whoever meets them first will qualify for the inheritance. What are the conditions? First, both parties must recreate the scent of Qingyan Group's latest, QV13. What is QV13? It's the last perfume grandfather blended before he passed away. It hasn't hit the market yet. 3 years ago, Dad sent me abroad to learn perfume making skills. Your dad is such a sinister and cunning man. How could he possibly just let you inherit the estate? He said before that no matter who inherits the estate, they must remember our father-son bond and share it. I slowly gave an affirmative hum. I originally thought so too, but I didn't expect that upon returning after completing my studies 3 years later, the home would already be completely different. Then the formula for QV13. Have you developed it over these 3 years? No? The production process of this perfume is extremely complex. Even though I've been able to distinguish all kinds of scents since I was a child, I've met my match with this perfume. I can only distinguish 1 or 2 ingredients. Moreover, the blending process is extremely time sensitive. Even a slight deviation will make the scent completely different. What are we going to do then? Your first condition is already so hard to handle. You've studied it for 3 years and still haven't figured it out. From what I see, is there no hope for this inheritance in this lifetime? You said just now that inheriting the estate requires meeting 2 conditions. Then what about the second one? The inheriting party must establish a happy and beautiful family. Why is the difficulty so high? Your grandfather might as well have just said he wouldn't let you inherit it. Yang Yang felt that my grandfather was just making things difficult. But your grandfather loved you so much back then. How could he set such a high threshold for inheritance? What exactly was he trying to do? Actually, it's not surprising. He hoped that I would succeed in my studies and have a happy and successful marriage. I feel like he was using the inheritance to motivate me, hoping that I would achieve something great in the future. Mu Yang Yang nodded. What you say does make some sense. I began to grow worried. Dad has already met the second condition for inheritance now. He has a family. Now he's only short of the first condition. As long as he recreates QV13 before I do, the Qingyan Group and tens of billions in assets, grandfather's lifelong painstaking effort. If it falls into the hands of Auntie and Yibai in the future, grandfather will definitely not rest in peace in the afterlife. Then what do you plan to do? I said in a deep voice. Dad has been managing the group for these past 3 years. No one knows that my position is the same as Dad's. We are both acting presidents of the group. What I'm worried about is that the employees have long since regarded him as the true president of the group. To prevent me from returning to fight for the inheritance, Auntie might have already arranged her own people inside the group. It's highly possible that before I even sit in the acting president's chair, I will be kicked out. What about the will? Is it useful if you take the will out to show those people? The will was left at home. When I went abroad 3 years ago, I didn't take it with me. Are you going back to get it now? Of course, you definitely have to go back and get it. Just as you said, Qingyan Group is your grandfather's lifelong painstaking effort. No matter what, you must take it back. If it falls into the hands of outsiders, your grandfather will definitely die with remaining regrets. That makes sense. This was originally my stuff. So how can I easily hand it over to others? If it were before, I was willing to give the inheritance to my own dad without any reservations. But now everything has changed. Dad is no longer that good dad who loved me back then. Or rather, he was never a good person. It's just that I had never realized it before, since it's a rare trip back home. I must absolutely not let anyone see my weakness. Mr. Yan, are you leaving? Miss said that. Before you fully recover, you cannot go anywhere. I'm just going out to get some fresh air. Besides, can she really control my freedom? If you leave, it'll be hard for me to explain to Miss. How about this? I'll call Miss first to report to her, lest she blames us for dereliction of duty. Then our lives won't be easy in the future. You make your young Miss sound like a vicious monster. Is she really that terrifying? The servant nodded hesitantly. More terrifying than a vicious monster. What Mr. Yan sees is only her gentle and patient side. When she truly loses her temper, the entire Dongcheng shakes 3 times. Since she's so terrifying, then I'll speak to her myself. Don't worry. The responsibility won't be on you. Walking on the road, I was just about to call Fu Qinghuan when my phone suddenly rang. A string of unfamiliar numbers caught my eye. Normally, I definitely wouldn't pick it up. But at this moment, I faintly felt that the caller might be Fu Qinghuan. Hello, who is this? Do you still remember this young lady? Zhen, how is it you? It seems you still remember me? This young lady indeed left a deep impression on you. Why didn't you let me know when you returned to the country? Didn't you need me to pick you up at the airport? I only need you to do one thing, stay away from me. The further, the better. It must be Brother Hao who told her the news of my return. Otherwise, she wouldn't have pestered me so quickly. Just as I hung up the phone, a sports car pulled up quickly right in front of me. Brother Ah Chen, long time no see. Ah Chen, why do you look a bit haggard? Did something unpleasant happen? None of your damn business. I took another road, not bothering to pay attention to her. How did she know I was here? Could it be that the phone call just now had a location tracker? Ever since our school days, this woman has been like chewing gum, sticking to me and never letting go. No matter what method I used, I couldn't drive her away. I finally managed to go abroad and enjoyed 3 years of peace and quiet, never expecting to be pestered by her again the moment I returned. This unfaithful, trashy woman pursues me on one hand, yet has a habit of never rejecting other guys on the other. She acts completely loose and unrestricted everywhere. How could I ever take a liking to a woman like her? Where are you going, Brother Chen? Shall we go together? If only this man were mine, how great would that be? Brother, where are you going? Let me give you a ride. I glanced at her. She was still full of wicked, playful thoughts, spoke completely without filter, and even her taste was still so bizarre. Miss Shi, have you still failed to catch another man after all these years? Does that mean your charm level has dropped? No men are throwing themselves at you anymore. So you ran over to find me out of loneliness, haha? This young lady is never lonely. Besides, I got tired of playing with other men long ago. Only you keep me hooked and worried. Ah Chen, after all these years. Don't tell me Lu Nianian is still in your heart. I actually heard that she cheated on you. And the person she cheated with is actually your younger brother. What does that have to do with you? Of course it has to do with me. Your business is... My business. Get in the car, I'll take you to crush those scumbags. Get out of the way, don't block my path. This is the first time I've ever heard. Someone complained that this young lady is blocking the path. Yan Chen, do you know that my appearance on this road is an honor for this road? Shi Jinzhen, can you please have a little self-respect and self-love? That's a good question. I threw my dignity away long ago when I started pursuing you. Brother Ah Chen, you are always so special. The words that others don't dare to say have all been said by you. I just love this side of you. I hailed a passing taxi. Driver, to Qingyan Villa. Thank you. Why pass up a perfectly good sports car just to take a taxi? Shi Jinzhen truly couldn't understand why I disliked her so much. There are way too many men trying to climb into her bed, yet I am completely different. However, the more I act like this, the more interested she gets. Ah, Chen, your taste is getting worse and worse. Riding in this kind of ragged little car? Aren't you joking with your own life? If anything happens to you, who am I going to marry? Who said I was going to marry you? Also, have you stayed abroad for too long that you can't read road signs anymore? Do you know you're driving against traffic? And you have the nerve to say I'm joking with my life? Do you even take your own life seriously? Ah, Chen, are you worried about me? No way, unless you accept my feelings. Otherwise, I'll follow you to the very end. If an accident happens, you'll have to take care of me for the rest of my life. Sarcastic. I didn't want to deal with her. Driver, please overtake her. Sir. The speed limit on this road is 40 and I'm already at 39. The driver glanced at Shi Jinzhen while driving, shuddering slightly. Besides, who would dare to overtake Miss Shu's car? Isn't that just looking for death? Haha, at least you know what's good for you. I really can't stand her parading around like this, relying on her family's influence to be completely lawless, treating traffic rules like thin air, and driving however she wants, right? She really treats the road like her own home. There were a few young people on the bus. Seeing Shi Jinzhen driving a bright sports car, they yelled, "Wow, the woman driving is so beautiful. Is that really Miss Shi? She looks so much better than in the magazines." Perhaps hearing the praise from the passersby, Shi Jinzhen kissed her own index finger and blew them a kiss. The young people on the bus started screaming. People in many cars came out one after another, not even wanting their cars anymore, crowding around her one by one. Before long, a traffic jam appeared on the road. The congestion on the roadside was still intensifying. The sounds of car horns blaring one after another, the screams of the onlookers, and Shi Jinzhen's deliberately elegant blown kisses all mixed into a mess. I was blocked right in the middle of the crowd, unable to move forward or backward. As I watched this farce before my eyes grow more and more ridiculous, the anger in the bottom of my heart was almost about to burst out. I wanted to go back to Qingyan Group and make those who disappointed me pay the price, not stay here dealing with Shi Jinzhen's nonsense. With a gloomy face, I pushed aside the crowding people. Shi Jinzhen, get out of the way right now. Don't delay my business. Yet Shi Jinzhen didn't restrain herself in the slightest. This is Yan Chen, the man I've loved for many years. Please take good care of him in the future. As soon as these words came out, the onlookers pulled out their phones even more and snapped photos of us furiously. I forcefully flung her hand away, my tone dark and gloomy to the extreme. I have nothing to do with you. If you keep pestering me, don't blame me for being impolite. She was flung back a couple of steps by me. Brother Ah Chen, I just want to help you. Lu Nianian and Yan Yibai treated you like that. Only I am sincerely good to you. I don't need your goodness. I had to go to Qingyam Villa to get back the will, but I couldn't let Yan Yuandong find out about it. A blinding set of headlights pierced through the chaotic crowd, slowly pulling up right in front of me. The noisy crowd around us actually quieted down a bit subconsciously. The car window rolled down slowly. Get in. She only said 2 words, her tone flat, yet allowing no refusal. Without a single bit of hesitation, I pulled open the car door and sat right inside. The moment the car door closed, the noise from the outside world was completely cut off. The inside of the car was clean and quiet, and a faint cold fragrance smoothed out the anxiety in the bottom of my heart. Seeing this, Shijin Jen immediately lunged toward the car window. By what right are you taking Brother Ah Chen away? Let me tell you, I am the eldest young lady of the Shi family. Don't even think about stealing him from me. Drive, and make those who disappointed me pay the price. Far behind us. I leaned back against the seat, my tense body finally relaxing completely. I raised my hand to rub my throbbing temples. It's urgent, I need to go back to Qingyan Villa. Grandfather's will is still there, only by getting the will. Can I rightfully take back Qingyan Group and expose the true colors of Yan Yuandong and the others? I'll accompany you, the security of Qingyan Villa, Yan Yuandong's recent itinerary, and the staff arrangements at the house. I have already had Xiao Xiao investigate everything thoroughly. You saved my life before. I Fu Qinghuan never owe anyone favors. Furthermore, I will not ignore your matters. If you want to fight back, I will give you the backing. If you want to take back everything that belongs to you, Chengguang Group will be your strongest support. These past days, she saved me from the car accident, took me in at the Shilan Villa area to recover from my injuries, and silently checked all the details for me, never asking for anything in return. Meanwhile, those I regarded as my closest family announced my death on the very day I returned to the country, just to seize my achievements. A stream of warmth spread from the bottom of my heart. I looked at this woman standing at the very top of Dongcheng, saying seriously, Fu Qinghuan, thank you. Once I've resolved everything, I will definitely repay you. I don't want your repayment. I only want you to win. The car soon drove into the Qingyan Villa area. This home where I grew up since childhood now looked like a freezing prison. The security guards at the entrance saw me, their expressions instantly changing. Mr. Yan, the master gave orders that you cannot go inside. I'm returning to my own home. Do I still need someone else's permission? My tone was freezing cold as I walked straight forward. The security guards didn't dare to block me by force, so they could only hurriedly take out their phones to report. Just as I walked into the living room, I heard the talking and laughing sounds of Yan Yuandong, Zhang Yuying, Yan Yibai, and Lu Nianian. The four of them were gathered around the sofa, discussing the future of the group and the wedding details. Hearing the footsteps, they all turned their heads together, and when they saw me, the smiles on their faces froze instantly. Yan Chen, how can you be here? Is the security outside dead? Who let you barge in? Guards kick him out. Yan Yibai held a pale-faced Lu Nianian, a trace of panic flashing through his eyes. Brother, it's so good that you're back. We were all very worried about you during these past days you were gone. Worried about me, worried that I'm still alive. Interfering with you guys seizing my family property, interfering with your grand wedding, and interfering with you guys taking Qingyan Group for yourselves, right? Ah Chen, I was wrong, but we are true love. Not telling you was also because we feared you'd worry while abroad, that's all. Can you please forgive me? Forgive you, you betrayed my 8 years of feelings, had an affair and got pregnant with my younger brother, and watched them declare my death. Do you even deserve forgiveness? Stop talking nonsense here. Qingyan Group belongs to me and Yibai now. It has nothing to do with you. Your grandfather's will has long since expired. Expired. Xiao Xiao immediately took out a document and handed it over. Yan Yuandong, you privately forged the will, embezzled billions of the group's assets, and colluded with outsiders to suppress old employees. Chengguang Group has already obtained all of this evidence. In addition, regarding the QV13 perfume formula left by grandfather, I have already successfully blended it. Plus, with my condition of being single and ready to start a family, I completely meet the inheritance requirements. I slammed the original will and the perfume certification on the table. Yan Yuandong's face turned deathly pale, slumping onto the sofa. Zhang Yuying was trembling all over, no longer possessing her usual arrogance. Yan Yibai's eyes darted around, not daring to look at me directly. Lu Nianian broke down completely, collapsing to the ground, weeping bitterly. Right at this moment, siren sounds came from outside the door. Fu Qinghuan spoke flatly, suspected of occupational embezzlement and commercial fraud, and forging documents. The police have already arrived. The police walked into the living room and presented the arrest warrants on the spot, taking away Yan Yuandong, Zhang Yuying, and Yan Yibai one by one. Because Lu Nianian participated in the conspiracy, she was also taken away to assist with the investigation. Awaiting her are legal sanctions and the world's scorn. Evil people eventually get their comeuppance. They exhausted all their schemes, wanting to strip away everything from me, but ultimately ended up in prison. I stood in the empty living room, letting out a long breath, the weight pressing on my heart, and the haze of the past 3 years finally dispersed completely. Fu Qinghuan walked to my side and gently held my hand. I looked at her gentle eyes, which brought me instant peace of mind. The sunset spilled over her through the floor-to-ceiling windows, making her so beautiful that I couldn't look away. From our accidental encounter in the plane crash, to her risking her life to save me in the torrential rain, and up to this moment of staying by my side to reclaim everything. This woman had already walked deep into my heart. Fu Qinghuan, it was you protecting me before. From now on, it's my turn to protect you. I will guard the Qingyan group and fulfill grandfather's dying wish. And the most important thing in my life is to be with you. A gentle smile surfaced in her eyes, and she stood on her tiptoes, gently kissing my lips. This kiss had no rush, no misunderstandings, only a heart full of joy and certainty. Later, I officially inherited the Qingyan group, restructured the business we called the Old Employees, and became a favorite story in Dongcheng's business world. Fu Qinghuan and I held a grand wedding that caused a sensation throughout the capital. Life after marriage was warm and fulfilling. I was no longer that desolate person betrayed by family and love. Fu Qinghuan remained the all-powerful eldest young lady of Jingshuan, yet she was gentle only to me. Seeing that my heart already belonged to someone else, and that I was living a happy and fulfilling life, Shi Jinchen finally gave up completely and stopped pestering me. As for those who committed many evil deeds, Yan Yuandong, Zhang Yuying, and Yan Yibai, they would spend the rest of their lives in prison, paying the price for their own greed and betrayal. Lu Nianyan's reputation was completely ruined with no one to help her, struggling bitterly at the bottom of society. No longer possessing her past glory, the sunshine spilled over the figures of me and Fu Qinghuan. Leaning against each other, I finally understood that the plane crash was a disaster, but even more so a blessing. It kept me away from hypocritical people and allowed me to meet the person truly worth cherishing. Good people get their rewards in the end, and evil people get their comeuppance. As for me and Fu Qinghuan holding hands and accompanying each other, it is the most perfect ending of this life.